Hi, and welcome to the Opinionated Bitch. I am your fabulous drag queen host, Prince Electro Diamond, and today I want to talk about gun regulation. Or I'm going to talk about gun regulation. So, there are so many people out there who just think, oh no, the drag queen's coming for our guns. No. No. I mean, technically, you don't have a constitutional right to it. I don't care what anybody fucking says, because in the Constitution, it says a well-regulated militia, which is not you sitting in your fucking house. But I understand why we can't just have people's or institutions such as the police, the military, the FBI, CIA, the Secret Service. I understand why those people cannot be the only ones who have guns, because if that's how it's going to be, they could honestly turn our government into an authoritarian regime, which, based on how things are going in the Republican Party, might be coming sooner rather than later. But anyway, back to my point. So, I don't think you should ask for much. Literally, I would say the bare minimum is a ban on assault weapons. You literally don't need a fucking AR-15 in your house. Like, you just don't need that. I don't care what anybody says. You don't need that kind of fucking gun in your fucking house. And when you think about gun violence, this is in the United States. 40,620 people die from gun violence a year at a rate of 12.2% per 100,000 people. And the truth is, yes, gun violence happens with people trying to murder people. I'll get to those stats in a minute. But it also happens with people committing suicide. In fact, 59% of gun deaths in the United States are firearm suicide. So, everyone thinks that taking away the guns, or at least restricting the guns, is a bad idea. That's over half. Half the gun deaths are suicide. Like, what are we talking about here? And we've seen for years that guns end up in the hands of wrong people. We've seen it with Columbine. We saw it with Sandy Hook. We saw it with Pulse. We saw it with the shooting in Las Vegas. We saw it with Uvalde. We saw it. We see it time and time and time and time again. That people get guns easily, go shoot up a fucking school or a fucking nightclub, and they're just supposed to be able to walk free. And my response to this is why? It's pretty much the same question I've asked in almost all of these episodes. Why? Why are we just letting people roam around getting whatever gun they fucking want? Because it's in the Constitution. The Constitution says well-regulated militia, motherfuckers. Said that before, but newsflash. And when you consider in this country that gun violence costs $557.2 billion a year, of which $12.6 billion of that comes from the taxpayers themselves. So again, going back to an argument I said before, we don't have money for universal health care. We have fucking $12.6 billion to put towards gun violence. What the fuck? And when you look at the numbers of people who die in these events, such as Sandy Hook, the Pulse nightclub shooting, Uvalde, and the Aurora theater shooting, it's disgusting. 20 children were murdered at Sandy Hook. 12 people were murdered at the Aurora theater shooting. 49 people were killed at Pulse. And 21 kids died at Uvalde. What the fuck does the right wing need to stop realizing that they shouldn't be taking money from the NRA? They should pass simple gun regulation like the majority of other countries have, like Japan. In Japan, the gun deaths is honestly almost zero. But yet, we're just going to keep on letting people shoot up fucking whatever they want. And in terms of gun regulation, I'm gay. I'm fucking scared. Because they've already used their guns once with Pulse. What's going to stop them from fucking using it again? And in fact, I remember in the news recently, there was a story where it wasn't successful, but a right-winger attacked a donut shop that was hosting a drag queen event with a Molotov cocktail. So they're coming for us. They're coming for us. And people think, oh, things are just going to get better. We'll be fine. And if you look at politicians, I'm in Florida, so I'm going to give the example of the politician in Florida, Senator Marco Rubio, got from the NRA, received $3,303,355. He received that from the NRA. So anyone thinking that you could just elect a Republican, or you can re-elect Marco Rubio, and he's going to pass gun regulation, the NRA is paying him off. They're his owner donors, as Senator Nina Turner says. They are his owner donors. So he is working for them, not for us. So for all you motherfuckers out there who voted for Marco Rubio today, congrats. Good job. You elected someone who's not going to change a damn fucking thing in Florida. And just another stat. In 2020, the NRA gave $12 million to fight against Biden. $4.5 million of those dollars went to Donald Trump. So everyone who thinks that if Donald Trump is the Republican nominee in 2024, if they think, oh, he's going to do a grassroots campaign, he's going to get that same money from the NRA again. He's going to get the same fucking money. And I will admit, I am someone who says that I did say that technically you don't have a constitutional right. But I'm not saying that the police should be the only people that have the guns. They really shouldn't. And if you are one of those people who believes that the cops should be the only one who has the guns, why don't you go talk to Tamir Rice's family? Because he's fucking dead. He was playing with a toy gun. Cops didn't even ask a fucking question, and they shot him in the fucking head. They killed him. They attacked him as if he was a terrorist. It's almost like I don't know what to say. I've said my piece because it's like anyone who thinks that shit should just stay the way that it is now needs to wake the fuck up. Shit ain't getting better. You got people who, in this country, after the January 6th riots, proved that if an election doesn't go the way that they want, they're going to storm the Capitol. And if this election, the midterms, that's happening today, doesn't go their way, those motherfuckers are probably going to storm the Capitol again. I will say this. Donald Trump is a monster. He created a monster in the Republican Party. He created a notion that if you just don't win an election, you can fucking steal it. But I have to admit, a lot of people give Trump flack for that, but he won the first one. If you want to look at somebody who started it all, just go look at George W. Bush. He's the one who lost to Al Gore, but because Fox News called the election for George W. Bush, all the other fucking news outlets said, it's Bush, it's Bush, it's Bush. It didn't matter that Al Gore won the popular vote at the Electoral College. That's who became the president. The only difference was, back then, if Al Gore had become the president, the Republican Party wouldn't have been as volatile as they are now. And let's just put it this way. The gun lobby controls one party in this country. And it's pretty obvious if you actually watch the news who it is. It's the Republican Party. In fact, gun rights groups in 2016 spent $54 million to campaign, in which $30 million of that went to Donald Trump. And in this year alone, in 2022, the NRA spent individually $11,149 just to give two politicians. It gave another $680,785 to super PACs. Not every politician, but the NRA is buying off politicians in the Republican Party, and that's who they're working for. So I will say this, Democrats, if you somehow win the election, somehow keep the House and the Senate the way that you have it now, we are going to pressure you to pass common sense gun regulation. I'll go in. Shit. I find a group that is going to lobby in the halls of Congress, fuck, I'll go. Because I would agree with that kind of lobbying. I agree with lobbying that's for the people. I don't agree with corporate lobbying where the fucking NRA gets to storm into the halls of Congress and talk to them. No, fuck you. Fuck you. Because the NRA is just a nasty organization. The NRA are the people who in the past have advocated for blind people to have guns. Fucking blind people. If I saw a blind person having a gun in a room that I'm in, I'm going to walk the fuck out. Because their bullshit excuse was they can use their other senses to shoot the gun. I'm sorry. I understand that we live in this world of people can be whoever they want to be. But, and I'm a firm believer of that in most cases, but if you're going to say that a blind person should become a sniper, you've got a fucking problem. Because some of us, I'd be scared. I mean, I'm scared of the NRA in general because, or people who are members of the NRA, because that to me says you've already chosen your side of the debate. Like, you're not going to hear any common sense gun regulation. You're just going to say, they're coming to take our guns. No. People who, honestly, I say most gun owners would agree with what I'm saying, which is you do common sense gun regulation. It's literally not that hard. The Republicans insist on making it hard by passing no gun regulation. That's what I want to talk about. And I want to talk to the Republicans in my state who are likely to get reelected. Hey, Marco Rubio, asshole. You want to quit taking money from the NRA? And to the other senator, hey, Rick Scott, when you're done defrauding people their fucking Medicare money, you want to pass some gun regulation? Hey, Ron DeSantis. Well, actually, he can't do shit. So not him. But, Brian Mast. Hey, Brian Mast. When you're done envisioning fucking 14-year-old girls in Africa, you want to pass some gun regulation? Because only one of those politicians is bought off by the NRA, and that's Marco Rubio. All the rest of you, either in the House or the Senate, what the fuck are you doing? Other than passing tax cuts for the rich, what the fuck are you doing? You ain't doing shit. I mean, this is why I'm doing the show, because I have to ask the question, how many people have to die before you're going to get up and realize that Not all of us, because I certainly didn't elect any of the politicians I just talked about. But people elected you. People thought you would be a good candidate to actually make change in government. And actually, I want to take that back. When I said Ron DeSantis can't do anything, Ron DeSantis can fucking pass gun regulation in this state. I know he can't do much nationally, but he can fucking do shit in Florida. But no, he's going to be too busy envisioning his political run in 2028 when the stupid dumbass actually thinks that he's going to be able to become the president. I got news for you, Governor DeSantis. If you're watching, if Donald Trump wins, you have zero chance of becoming the president in 2028. Because Donald Trump is going to make it so that there are no more presidential elections if he wins. He's going to turn this place into an authoritarian dictatorship where he's the king and everybody else is to fucking bow down to him. That's what Trump's going to do. And look, I get it. I'm going to speak to the people. I get it. I get not wanting to elect Biden. Shit. In the last episode I did on voting, I literally said, or I literally begged Nina Turner, AOC, Bernie, and Katie Porter all to run against Joe Biden. Because Joe Biden has been good in some ways, but he's been done fucking shit in other ways. And back to gun regulation. He's been in the presidency, what? 2 years? Almost 2 years, almost 3 years. What the fuck has he done? He hadn't done shit. He basically slept through the first year and a half of his presidency. So when people say, vote for Biden again, shit. If I have to, I will. I'd rather somebody else challenge him. And when I say challenge him, I'm not talking about you, Gavin Newsom, who also, you haven't done shit for California, and you're not going to do shit for the country if you get fucking elected. We don't want Joe Biden 2.0 in you, Gavin Newsom. Because believe me, I watch the Young Turks every day, Monday through Friday. I watch them all the time. I heard what you've done in California. And if you think progressives are going to vote for you, fuck off. Only progressives who are going to vote for someone like Gavin Newsom are people who don't watch the news at all. And they'll believe his progressive lies. Because I've heard about how it is in LA. I've heard about driving on the freeway and having literal fucking mattresses just be in the middle of the fucking road. And nobody's picking them up. How residents of LA have to do fucking landscaping because nobody's doing anything to take care of landscaping in government. So, Gavin Newsom, well, first of all, I would say this. In a Gavin Newsom run, what's he going to do? That's different than Biden. He's a corporatist like Biden. That's almost why I remember at one point they were talking about Kamala Harris. What's she going to do that's different than Biden? If they bring back Hillary Clinton, God, I hope they do not bring back Hillary Clinton to be one of the nominees in 2024. Because Hillary Clinton already fucking lost. She lost to Trump. Trump is a monster. She lost the Electoral College to him. I don't know. But to wrap this all up, I would say in a closing statement, whoever gets elected next in the halls of Congress or in the presidency needs to do something about gun regulation. Because I remember people get so mad when they talk about gun regulation right after a tragic event. They say it's too soon, it's too soon. When the fuck are we going to have the conversation where we actually do some gun regulation in this country? Because people say, wait until there's no more mass shootings. So what? We're just never going to do it? Because if we wait for there to be no mass shootings, we're going to be waiting years and years and years and years. Because mass shootings aren't going down. They're going up. Because people on the right wing are pissed and they take to the streets. That's why I will say this. The left wing, especially progressives, real progressives would never take to the streets with guns. They would take to the streets with protesting. And that's what we need in this country. We need someone. We're going to take to the streets, is the message I want to say. We're going to take to the streets. Because if you ain't going to fucking fight for us, we're going to basically knock on your door and say, wake the fuck up, Congress. It's time to fight for us now. You've let enough of us die. When are you going to do something? Because what I'm asking for is honestly, I'm talking to the Democrats because the Republicans, you're not going to change. So the Democrats, please do something before the fascists take over. Let us have 2 years apiece. Because if you don't do something, the right wing is going to cause even more problems by taking to the streets, and we're just going to have an all-out war. In this country. We're going to have, quote-unquote, revolutionaries taking to the streets to shoot people. I don't want that. And frankly, neither should you. And with that said, this is the Opinionated Bitch. I am your host, Prince Electro Diamond. Good night. Yep.